When we're working with robots, we have to think a lot about different coordinate frames. Even if we're just talking about robot manipulators, we can have a ton of different coordinate frames for a given manipulator and its environment. So, for example, here I have a camera that's looking at a scene that has its XYZ coordinate frame, and it's looking at a robot arm, a robot manipulator that has a bunch of different coordinate frames. There's a coordinate frame at the base. There's a coordinate frame on this joint, right? So this joint, presumably, as it rotates, this x as the joint rotates, this x axis rotates, and the y-axis rotates, right? It looks like it rotates about this z axis here. And then our gripper has another XYZ coordinate frame, which again, if this gripper maybe can rotate, then the orientation of that frame at any given time may be different. And of course, maybe we have this widget over here that we want our manipulator to pick up, and perhaps we see the widget with the camera and we want to somehow tell the arm where to go to pick up that widget. But now, of course, we have a problem. If I know the location of the widget in camera coordinates, how can I figure out the location in world coordinates, which I've got, which I'm saying is at the base of my robot manipulator, or how can I figure out what its location is in gripper coordinates? And this is the big problem that we're going to try and solve in the next few slide sets is if I know the location of a point in one coordinate frame, how do I figure it out in a different set of coordinates? But as I say in here, in order to get there, we're going to start by doing a little bit of an easier problem. So I want you to just keep in mind as you watch the future slide sets that our ultimate goal is to convert points from one coordinate frame to another, right? We have a point that we know what its location is in world coordinates, and we want to know, oh, what's its location in gripper coordinates, for example. And we're going to start to get to that point by beginning with how do we transform frames? How do I move this frame so it would be in alignment with another frame? And then we'll talk about the relationship between this sort of movement of coordinate frames and how that relates to point transformation.